Welcome to The Deep Dive, the show where we slice through the noise of the tech world, sift through a stack of the latest articles, research, and our own insights, and really extract those truly important nuggets of knowledge just for you. Today, our mission is to unpack the intricate, fast-moving world of technology. We're going on a journey through, well, the intense global AI competition, some genuinely surprising tech innovations, and the emerging digital challenges that are reshaping our daily lives. Our goal, as always, is to deliver those aha moments that make you feel truly well-informed, without the information overload.
And believe me, we have a lot to cover today. The sheer breadth of information across these sources is quite remarkable. It touches on everything from, geopolitical power plays right down to the apps in your pocket. By connecting the dots between these diverse areas, you're not just going to learn what's happening in tech right now, but crucially, why it matters. And maybe what ingrained assumptions we might need to question about technology's trajectory and its pervasive impact on our lives.
Okay, let's dive right in then. We absolutely have to start with the geopolitical tension at the very heart of today's tech landscape. I mean, the intense race for AI supremacy between the United States and China. Now, this isn't merely about which nation builds the most sophisticated models, is it? It runs so much deeper than that.
It absolutely does. And this is where it gets really compelling. What will ultimately define whether the United States or China truly wins this race isn't just about, say, the raw computing power of their AI systems or the number of research papers they publish.
Right.
It's fundamentally about whose technology is most broadly adopted in the rest of the world. That's the key.
Okay.
We're talking about a competition that's rapidly expanding beyond just algorithms and models. It's moving into critical areas like setting global standards, shaping governance frameworks, and even controlling the underlying infrastructure that powers AI.
Wow.
It's a battle for technological hegemony, really. The victor could set the terms for the digital future.
And the most alarming part here, reading through the sources, is the sheer pace of change. Despite all the export restrictions the U.S. has placed on advanced semiconductor tech, those crucial computer chips, right?
The GPUs.
Any lead the U.S. has is described as eroding fast.
Yeah.
We're not just talking about small gains. We're hearing that Chinese competitors have evolved and advanced greatly over the last year, doubling, even quadrupling their capabilities every year.
Quadrupling. It's an almost unimaginable rate of progress. It really raises serious questions about the effectiveness of current containment strategy.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that rapid evolution in China has directly influenced a significant U.S. strategy shift. You can see it clearly. Washington is moving from what was primarily a China containment approach. Well, it's shifting more towards international bloc formation.
Block formation.
Meaning actively promoting and trying to solidify U.S.-led tech ecosystems worldwide. The explicit desire seems to be for American AI stock, starting for the GPUs.
To graphics processing units, yeah.
Right, those incredibly powerful chips, essential for training these massive AI models.
Yeah.
They want the whole stack, GPUs, models, everything on top, to be the indisputable global standard.
So control a whole pipeline.
Exactly. They are the engines of modern AI, and controlling their supply and development is a huge strategic priority.
But China isn't just, sitting back watching this happen. They're presenting a very viable alternative, and in some ways, maybe quite an appealing one.
Definitely.
AI leaders there, like DeepSea and Alibaba, are going open source to build quickly and at scale. This approach offers other nations, particularly those maybe in the global south, a clear path to develop their own AI capabilities. Without becoming solely dependent on Western tech or these proprietary systems, it's a smart strategic move.
And that's precisely where the complexities arise for other nations, especially those without their own established tech giants. The choice between U.S. or Chinese AI technology is unlikely to be binary, at least for now.
Right, they can play both sides.
Well, governments around the world have, for years, expertly navigated what the sources call these twin poles of power, balancing allegiances and economic interests. They're quite adept at it. This whole situation also brings up some truly fascinating questions about economic interests versus national security.
Like what?
Well, for instance, the sources highlight this dynamic. American venture capital funds funding Chinese AI. And they ask, is that in our national interest?
That's a tricky one.
It really makes you think about where the lines are drawn when global capital flows so freely. Both Washington and Beijing are incredibly keen to shape global norms for AI. They're particularly focused on the global south.
Okay.
And China, for its part, is explicitly willing to share indigenous technologies and innovation scenarios, which, can be very attractive for developing nations looking to leapfrog into the digital age.
So it's not just tech, it's influence values.
Exactly. The future of global interconnectedness, really.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting, I think. Because AI isn't just about geopolitics and global power struggles or these high-level strategic competitions. It's touching everything around us. How we shop, how we express ourselves, how we work, even how our digital platforms are managed. So let's shift our focus to AI's dual impact, its exciting, almost futuristic innovations, and then the very real ethical quandaries they stir up. On the creative and practical side for consumers, we've got some fascinating new applications popping up. Take Google's experimental app, Doppel, for instance. Imagine this. You take a single photo of yourself.
Just one photo.
Yeah, and this app lets you virtually try on outfits using an AI-generated version of yourself.
Wow.
You can mix and match looks, even generate short videos to see how their outfits move on your AI avatar. It's like a virtual fitting room.
That could completely change online shopping.
Right, and Google is clearly doubling down on AI for creativity.
Seems like it.
They're actively looking to hire engineers in India to work on an iOS version of their YouTube Create app.
The creator tool.
Yeah, it's a free tool specifically designed for content creators, and bringing it to iOS could really democratize video production even further.
Making it easier for anyone with an iPhone.
Exactly, allowing more people to create high-quality content directly from their phones. It's fascinating how AI is lowering the barrier to entry for creative stuff.
Yeah, making sophisticated tools accessible. That's great for innovation and accessibility, for sure. AI is enabling incredible new consumer experiences, but what about the flip side?
Exactly. AI isn't just virtual try-ons or cool creative tools. It's also having some very real and sometimes quite painful impacts on the workforce and how our digital lives are managed. It raises some pretty significant ethical questions along the way.
That's a critical point, and one the sources definitely don't shy away from. They reveal a stark reality. AI is fundamentally transforming work, and not always in ways that benefit everyone immediately. We've seen anonymous testimonials that are truly sobering. One worker specifically stated that AI killed their previous job at Adobe.
Wow, just flat out killed it.
Yeah, likely through automation of tasks that used to need a human. And they added that it's already poised to have a similar effect on their new role in the public sector.
So it's not just theoretical job loss.
No, it's tangible, personal impact on livelihoods and careers. And then think about content moderation.
Oh yeah, the bans.
Right. Widespread complaints of mass bans on platforms like Instagram and Facebook, with Facebook groups also affected. While the exact reason isn't always clear, faulty AI-based moderation is widely suspected.
An algorithm making mistakes.
Exactly. Imagine a system designed for efficiency, making decisions about your online presence, without the nuanced understanding a human might have, leading to potentially arbitrary removals. It raises big questions about accountability and transparency in these powerful systems.
Speaking of legal and ethical issues, there's been a significant legal development for AI companies. This one sent shockwaves through the creative community. A federal judge just handed AI companies a major legal win by ruling that training on copyrighted books without permission can count as fair use.
That's huge, fair use.
It is huge. It suggests that using vast amounts of existing content to train AI models might not require specific licensing from every single copyright holder.
Oof. I can see why creatives would be upset.
Yeah, understandably, creatives are reeling from the blow. It's a terrifying prospect for artists, writers, musicians, seeing their work used to build systems that could potentially replicate or even replace their output without compensation or consent.
Right.
However, it's important to note, the ruling isn't the end of the story. A trial will still proceed over Anthropic's alleged use of pirated books to build what's been called a central library of everything ever written.
So the fight over AI and IP is definitely not over.
Far from it. It's a complex area where the law is still really trying to catch up to the technology.
And AI's reach extends far beyond apps and legal disputes. It's touching infrastructure and big business in some truly surprising ways.
Like,
Well, take J.B. Straubel, one of the co-founders of Tesla.
sure.
His new venture, Redwood Energy, just flipped the switch on the largest microgrid in North America.
A microgrid. That's like a local power grid.
Essentially, yeah. A localized, self-sufficient power grid. It can operate independently or connect to the main grid. What's truly groundbreaking here is how it's powered. It uses 805 retired EV batteries.
Recycled electric vehicle batteries? That's brilliant.
It is, and crucially, it's fueling an AI data center.
Because those data centers use tons of power.
Immense amounts, especially for AI. So this isn't just neat engineering. It's a critical step towards sustainable energy for AI and a circular economy for those battery materials. Some sources even suggest this new energy venture might actually be outpacing the company's core recycling business in terms of its potential impact.
Wow. Okay. What else?
Then there's CoreWeave, an AI cloud firm. Its CEO, Michael Intrater, now boasts a jaw-dropping $10 billion net worth just months after their IPO.
$10 billion? How?
Well, the company evolved from a scrappy crypto mining hustle, literally mining crypto, into this GPU-fueled AI powerhouse serving OpenAI and Microsoft.
Talk about a pivot.
Right. It highlights the incredible capital flowing into AI infrastructure. But it's not without risk. The sources mention eye-watering interest rates and like $8.8 billion in debt, suggesting they're walking a very fine tightrope. It's a stark example of the high-stakes, high-reward world of AI infrastructure right now.
That's a whirlwind of innovation and, frankly, scary amounts of money changing hands. Okay, let's unpack this further. Let's see what other surprising and sometimes concerning developments are making headlines. From new cyber threats impacting travel to some intriguing UI quirks and shifts in how we get our news online. Let's start with emerging threats in the digital realm, because these are getting, well, increasingly sophisticated, aren't they?
They really are.
There's this collective of young, largely English-speaking hackers known as Scattered Spider.
Scattered Spider, yeah, I've read about them.
They're now targeting airlines in the transportation sector. That feels like a significant escalation.
Definitely. Critical infrastructure.
At least 2 airlines have reported intrusions recently, including a WestJet incident that media reports have connected to this group. Now, this isn't a new group. They've previously hit major sectors like retail, insurance, hotels, casinos, even tech companies.
So they have a track record.
A big one. What makes them particularly insidious is their reliance on deceptive tactics like social engineering and phishing.
Tricking people, basically.
Yeah, manipulating people into giving up info or using fake emails and websites. And they've even been connected to threats of violence, which just adds a chilling dimension.
That's terrifying.
It's a stark reminder that these cyber threats are constantly evolving and can directly impact critical infrastructure and, well, our personal safety.
And moving from cyber threats to social media, TikTok is testing a new bulletin boards feature.
Bulletin boards, like old school internet.
Slight chuckle. Sort of, but for creators. It sounds very similar to Instagram's broadcast channels, allowing brands and creators to share one-to-many messages directly with their followers, like a direct communication channel. Early testers include big names like People magazine and the Jonas Brothers, so it seems like a serious play for deeper engagement.
Interesting.
On a slightly more concerning note, perhaps, let's talk autonomous vehicles.
Tesla robotaxi?
Exactly. Just a day after Tesla began giving rides in its new robotaxis down in Austin, Texas.
Yeah.
Federal safety regulators, NHTSA, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, are already asking questions.
That was fast. Why?
Videos surfaced showing these autonomous vehicles apparently speeding and swerving into the wrong lane.
Oh, that's not good.
No. Predictably, it raises fresh concerns about the safety of Tesla's unsupervised full self-driving tech. It really highlights that ongoing tension between rapid innovation and public safety.
And the regulators trying to keep up.
Precisely. And speaking of autonomous vehicles, there's this fascinating rumor going around that Travis Kalanick, the controversial Uber founder,
him,
he might be plotting his return to the self-driving car game.
Yeah.
Potentially by buying the U.S. arm of Pony AI, maybe with some strategic help from Uber itself.
Wow, that would be something.
Certainly a full circle and potentially disruptive moment for him, yeah.
And, you know, sometimes even the biggest tech companies just stumble with user experience or their business models. Apple, for instance, has some very unhappy users right now. An ad for its own movie, the F1, the movie.
It's a Formula One film.
Yeah, Apple's new film about F1 racing, an ad for it showed up uninvited in users' wallet apps.
In the wallet app? Seriously?
Yep. And this has reignited complaints that Apple is using core apps to market its own content without explicit consent.
Which feels a bit off, yeah. A breach of trust, almost.
Many see it that way. Subtle, but significant. Meanwhile, Google's facing a different challenge.
What's that?
AI search features eating into publisher traffic.
Ah, the AI answers the question so you don't click the link.
Exactly. When AI provides direct answers in search results, users may not click through to the original publisher's website, and that hurts their ad revenue.
Makes sense. So what's Google doing?
To counter this, they're rolling out a new tool called Offer Wall in Ad Manager. It's designed to help sites make money through alternative methods like micropayments, surveys, or even letting readers watch ads to unlock content.
Interesting. Trying to find new ways for publishers to survive the AI wave.
Yeah, it's an attempt to adapt to how AI is fundamentally reshaping content consumption and, well, the money side of things online.
And just for a lighter but truly iconic piece of tech news, something that'll likely resonate with many PC users out there.
Okay.
The iconic Windows error screen is getting a makeover nearly 40 years after its debut.
No way. The blue screen of death?
Well, not quite blue anymore. Instead of the familiar, dreaded blue screen of death, users will now see a black screen of death.
Black screen of death. Wow.
Yeah, a bit of an RIP to a real one moment for generations of PC users, myself included. I've faced that blue screen more times than I care to admit.
Haven't we all?
It's a subtle but, significant aesthetic shift for one of computing's most infamous symbols.
So, after all that, what does this all mean for you, our listener? We've covered a staggering breadth of innovation and challenge across the tech landscape today, from the geopolitical chessboard of AI supremacy and its far-reaching implications, to the daily tools we use, the jobs we hold, and even iconic things like Windows error screens.
Yeah, I think the key takeaway is the sheer unrelenting pace of technological change. It's just so fast. And that means constant shifts. Shifts in power dynamics between nations, between corporations, evolving considerations for our personal privacy, and new dimensions to our everyday convenience, or sometimes, well, inconvenience.
Right.
These developments, particularly in AI, they aren't just abstract headlines you read about. They are actively reshaping our world and our individual experiences within it right now.
So stay aware.
Exactly. Critical thinking, therefore, remains absolutely essential in navigating this incredibly information-rich, fast-changing, and often unpredictable environment.
Absolutely. And maybe a final thought to leave you with. As AI continues to learn and evolve at this dizzying pace, and our devices become even more integrated into every aspect of our lives, what surprising new ethical dilemmas or maybe incredible breakthroughs might be just around the corner that we haven't even begun to consider yet?
That's the big question, isn't it?
Something profound to ponder as we all continue to surf this wave of technological transformation. Thank you for joining us for this deep dive into the world of tech. We'll catch you next time.